Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. It's time for our health tip with Dr. Lee Weisbard.
Hi, Dr. Weisbard.
Good morning.
Dr. Weisbard, very nice to have you with us today. What is our health tip for today?
Well, very often patients will come in and say, do I really need x-rays? That seems to be a hot topic these days.
Really?
It does.
All right, so how often do we really need to have x-rays, Dr. Weisbard?
It's really more a matter of what is the purpose? Why do we take x-rays in the first place? And what happens with an x-ray, without an x-ray, a dentist is blind. You can only see what's in their mouth. With an x-ray, we are able to see the bone level. We're able to see the roots of the teeth. We're able to detect any early changes going on. And x-rays are work by density changes, so it shows the difference between the layers of the tooth, the enamel, the dentin, the nerve. And we can really see how large an old filling is, how close it is to the nerve. And we can predict whether or not this tooth is going to need extensive treatment or just a small filling.
Dr. Lee, I've got a question about x-rays because, some people go to one dentist and then they, for whatever reason, change over to another dentist. By the way, Dr. Weisbard would be a great one for you to make that decision. But if I get x-rays at one dentist, can I use those for another one, or is the machine calibrated differently and it really won't make difference?
Well, it really depends, Eric. If the x-rays are crisp and clear and you can see between the teeth, they're usable, and we can reuse those x-rays. Patients typically have x-rays, a full set of x-rays once every 3 to 5 years, and bite x-rays where we can just see between teeth and the top of the bone level about every year. And if you've had them at another practice and they're clear and they're well-taken x-rays, they can be used, and they give us a lot of information.
And it's so funny because we think that, well, nothing's really changed. I mean, is that the mindset between when a customer or a patient is saying, do I need x-rays? Like, how much could have really changed in a year or two or even 3 or 5 years? Does it really change a lot, Dr. Weisbard?
It's huge. Angel, what we can detect in 3 to 6 months are simple things. We can see early changes in the bone level and perio issues. We can see new cavities. We can see decay around an old filling. If we wait 12 months or 2 years or 3 years, what happens is we end up allowing that to progress to a much more extensive need. We have more discomfort, more cost. It's so much easier to handle when you pick it up early and you can do simple, easy dentistry than waiting until you could lose a tooth. You could end up needing a root canal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dr. Lee, I know from personal experience that you go the extra mile to make sure not only that I'm comfortable, but that I, your patient, am taken well care of, and make sure that all those x-rays are taken so that you know what you're dealing with in my mouth.
Another thing about x-rays, Eric, is if the dentist is unwilling to show you the x-rays and explain those x-rays, that's a problem. That's a red flag. The dentist should show you what's happening on your x-rays, should explain to you what they're looking at. It shouldn't just be taking x-rays to put in your chart. The x-rays really give a lot of diagnostic information for the dentist and the ability for the dentist to treat that patient, and they should share that with the patient. The patient should be a part of the process.
Well, so there's a red flag for you right there. If you're not feeling that communication and somebody's just kind of keeping something or it's just, practice. I'm not really looking at them. We just want to have a record of them and we're not actually discussing them. There's a red flag for you. Dr. Weisbard, could you give some contact information for Weisbard Dental?
Absolutely. Angel, we can be reached at 303-773-3373 or online at weisbarddental.com. And again, we take the time to sit down, explain to people what's going on that x-ray, show them what I'm looking at. We look for any changes. We want to make sure that everything is healthy. It's just being thorough and taking care of your health.
Absolutely. Folks, there are no red flags at Weisbard Dental, only green lights. You are now free to go call this number, 303-773-3373, or go check out Dr. Lee at weisbarddental.com. That's WEISBARD dental.com. Dr. Lee, thanks so much. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, guys. It's always a pleasure.
All
Absolutely.
right.